This is the dramatic case of Keandra Cooks, an 18-year-old who received a 20-year sentence in state prison for using a dating app to orchestrate a robbery that led to the shooting of another teen. Cooks and her then-boyfriend, Kendrick Bass, lured Manny Purcell and a friend to South Daytona using the app, but instead of a good time, Purcell was shot and carjacked. Neither Cooks nor Bass could escape the long arm of the law, and both were brought to court for their crimes. Here we witness Cooks' most dramatic moment in court as she approaches the bench to deliver her statement before receiving her sentencing.
I just want to say that I'm sorry for being wrong.
During the court proceedings, Keandra Cooks and her mother were under the impression that she would not be serving any jail time due to conversations with their defense attorney. Cooks pleaded for a second chance to complete her education and become her mother's first child to graduate high school without getting into more trouble. So you can imagine their horror when the judge delivered his verdict of 20 years.
Charges sentence you to 20 years in state prison.
As Circuit Judge Matthew Foxman read the sentence, Keandra Cooks' mother dropped to the floor and wailed. The house of grief from Cooks' mother was so loud that the judge had to later restate the sentencing for the clerk. Keandra, seeing her mother fall to the floor with emotion, finally realizes the gravity of the situation she's in and then breaks down herself. Jacob Morgan, a 17-year-old from Rock Hill SC, was in court for a probable cause hearing on charges of arson and murder linked to the tragic death of his 14-month-old brother. The tension in the courtroom was palpable, as prosecutors claimed that Morgan had intentionally and maliciously set the fatal fire, causing his brother's death. When confronted with the accusation, the teenage convict reacted with extreme distress, freaking out in court. This shocking display highlights the urgent need to address mental health and violence prevention among youth, and to provide effective support before it's too late. The tragedy of this case serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked mental health issues and the importance of early intervention.
Set a fire in the bedroom when the child is in the crib asleep. The burn pattern that goes from underneath that child towards the door of the bedroom, that is caused by likely something. It's a significant burn pattern, as he described it. It could have been alcohol, it could have been something else that was consumed by the fire. But a significant burn pattern shows that there is something set significant and intentional. And at that point, to start fire in that room is the ignorance, and to walk away, not trying to escape that fire, and immediately starting another fire in the living room. And then to claim it's an accident, that it got out of control, that's an extreme recklessness, and that's intent. That's maliciousness. That's a definition of malice. And as you walk away from the fire that you've just lit in another room with a small baby, walk into the front room, light that fire, and then leave the residence standing outside watching it burn.
This is Damon Kemp, a teenage convict charged with the double murder of his roommates in Daytona Beach, Florida. Police were called to investigate a burglary at an apartment complex, and it was there that Kemp allegedly confessed to the murders. He was originally staying with his two roommates when both individuals were shot several times in the apartment. During Kemp's bond hearing, he was escorted into the courtroom in a wheelchair, creating a dramatic moment in the courtroom.
God! God!
The judge tries to get Kemp's attention, but he's completely ignored.
Mr. Kemp?
God!
Damon Kemp. I'm going to conduct your first appearance.
God!
For the victim's family, it got so tough they had to walk out. Kemp is currently in the Volusia County Jail awaiting his trial. Dylan Schumacher was convicted of second-degree murder and child abuse charges after beating his girlfriend's 23-month-old child while babysitting. He entered the Buffalo, New York courthouse for his sentencing, crying and expressing remorse for his actions. However, he was still convicted by the jurors.
I mean to kill Oscar. Ashley, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean that.
The text above mentions that a phone call between Dylan Schumacher and his mother was recorded while he was awaiting his trial. No further details are provided. Now, listen to the judge on what Schumacher said to his mother.
The record will show that you admitted that on July 23, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, "I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me."
Schumacher was later sentenced to the maximum punishment.
Of murder in the second degree, that you be sentenced to an indeterminate term of imprisonment, which will have a maximum of life. The court hereby imposes a minimum sentence of 25 years.
but that sentence was later modified to 18 years to life. The text above only provides this one sentence about Brandon Spencer, which is the beginning of a longer story.
I'm sorry for what happened, Your Honor, but please, life in prison.
Brandon Spencer, a 19-year-old man, attended a crowded Halloween party on the USC campus in Los Angeles, where gunshots were fired. Later, he was picked up by LAPD for questioning after running away. A few days later, Spencer was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. Although nobody died, 4 people were injured, making it one of the most dramatic moments in court for a teenage convict. The shooting was a result of a feud between Spencer and a rival gang member, and that he was a documented well-known gang member himself.
And I'm not a bad person, but I made mistakes. But I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to betray me.
During the trial, Brandon Spencer vehemently maintained his innocence, but the jury found him guilty. Almost 50 of Spencer's family and friends filled the courtroom as the judge delivered the sentence. However, when the verdict was read, Spencer's reaction was nothing short of dramatic. He repeatedly banged his head on the defense table, causing a commotion, and had to be physically restrained by sheriff deputies. Reportedly, Brandon was sentenced to 40 years to life for 4 counts of attempted murder. Martise Fuller is on trial in Kenosha County, Wisconsin. He is accused of breaking into his ex-girlfriend's house armed with a handgun and killing her, as well as attempting to kill her mother, who survived the shooting and identified Fuller to the police. Fuller is 15 years old. Fuller pleaded not guilty, but the jurors disagreed. Martise Fuller displayed a rare show of emotion during his trial after being convicted on 3 counts. In one of the most dramatic moments ever seen in a courtroom, Martise Fuller made a statement during his sentencing after being found guilty of killing his ex-girlfriend and attempting to kill her mother. Despite being convicted, Fuller maintained his innocence, and his emotional outburst drew the attention of everyone in the courtroom. As he was sent to prison for the rest of his life, his words lingered in the minds of those who witnessed the powerful scene.
Judge, Mr. Fuller's prepared a statement that he asked that I read on his behalf. Martise writes, "Wholeheartedly, I wanted to write this giving my sincerest apologies to this family I once shared time and love with. Truthfully, I am sorry about the pain you've all suffered through this, but more importantly, the loss of my ex-girlfriend Kaylee that I loved too. So I am sorry. Despite the hatred that is against me, I still am sorry. But I have to continue to stand innocent because I am."
Martise writes, "Now the judge will deliver the sentence."
The ability to trust that you will never commit these acts. You are a very dangerous and a damaged human being.